Welcome to Isis in the Bible Fall Gathering, week number 4, Remembership. The question for today is, how can we make a difference to those whom have not? We went around the room and we had some beautiful responses, and then when I edit the video, I'll add them back in. Tis the season where people are in need of some love. As a compassion exercise, what can we do as a group to send a message to those whom are in need? Looking for your thoughts. So people out in the audience from YouTube, please give me your thoughts. Remembership is a reminder that we are upon a time where we are all members of the same one love ship, one love boat, all from the same family tree. So when you see someone in need, just say to yourself, they are a part of me. Okay, what's happening in the sky? We talked a little bit about this. Obviously, we're still going to keep saying about, excuse me, Mary stepping on the snake on November 27th, 2023. People are constantly asking, what does that mean? Well, it's a personal thing more than anything. The personal ego, the snake, right? Everyone's going to get that stepped on. And you can see people going through all sorts of things. And when people reach out to me to get their chart done, the biggest story is for the last 3 years. Well, we know that Eris, Isis, Madonna, whatever you want to call her, started coming into Aries, our head, for the first time in 558 years. So it's a loving, beautiful induction of love we're going through. So I didn't put the date in here, but on the 20th, 19th and 20th, and we talked a little bit about this last week, Mars, the Sun, and Ceres. Mars is fiery change. When two people get into a little spat, that's Mars with Venus. Well, Mars is fiery change. That's why you got this emblem here. The Sun is fire. And Ceres is your personal harvester, your personal grim reaper. That's you whenever you want to take yourself out. That's all in Scorpio. Scorpio's procreation, sexuality, manifestations. This is part of stepping on the snake. Again, Scorpio is that part of below the Ouroboros ophiuchus that separates the snake from eating its tail. So this alignment is important. Are people going to leave the visible? I don't know, because Ceres is involved when people leave the visible. But only you are the one that decides based on your chart when you leave, because if your heart's not there, then it plays a factor. So people will be tested. People will be tested. So this was from last week. You remember that the Day of the Dead was Samhain, right? So part of this alignment, this was the 22nd. So that other alignment I showed you where the sun meets in here, it's all part of lining up with Alcyone, and Alcyone brings the Leonid meteorites. So it's all part of it. Meteor shower happens every year. So it's an astrological thing. It's not a comet that goes around. And so I'm going to go through a presentation that I tried to get through for our first annual Fall Wellness Fair. So I'm doing it now so I can record it and post it for those that wanted to see the remainder of it. So let's do some remembership, shall we? So this was just the main screen for it, Introduction to Astrologos. The highlights of this presentation is why learn astrology? What are we looking for? So I just basically went around the room and asked people why they would like to learn about astrology. Is astrology woo-woo? Medical astrology, is that real? Reincarnation and karma, is that real? Astrology verses in the Bible, you've heard these before, but we're going to show them again. The true meaning of the cross, meet the zodiac cross. And pandemics, are they astrological? So why learn astrology? What are we searching for? People gave a bunch of different answers. You've heard most of them before. I want to learn about myself. I want to expand my knowledge. What is it really about? I'm searching for truth. I'm searching for why things are happening in my life. There's a whole bunch of reasons why people look to astrology. The kicker is, though, the academics of the Bible will tell you don't look to the stars. But did you know that 95% of astrologers tell you don't look to the sky as well? Why is that? Why wouldn't you, if you're an astrologer, how can you not look to the stars? I'm not judging, it's just that they're missing a factor in there, and that factor is what doesn't allow them to do the medical astrology. All right. So look to the sky or don't look to the sky. No, we're supposed to look to the sky, and all the ancients have showed us that. Because astrologos, okay, astrology is just another word for astrologos. What does it mean? Well, astro means star and logos means message. That's where the word, God spoke the word. The word is through the stars. Every one of those alignments in our chart show exactly what message we need to see, what message we need to hear. It's all in there. In this beautiful image, you can see that the light goes from the visible to the invisible. So it's just a reminder that the two Marys are astrological. In every culture, you'll find the two Marys. So they are Eris. In astrology, they're called Eris and Juno. On the Egyptian walls, they're called Isis and Nephthys, or Virgin Mary and Mary Magdalene. They're all there. This is what they look like. Isis is the one that's got the throne. That's the H. That's where the rebirthing happens. And Nephthys has a throne that's upside down. There's more meaning to that. So that's the two Marys that you want to get involved with. So is astrology woo-woo? Medical astrology. What do you think? We've proved to many of you that everything is in your chart. Those are more than just pretty lights in the sky. So here's the video. So I won't go through it because I'll put the whole thing in, but this is the one where we went through and showed you that when lightning strikes, how Ceres, the harvester, which is aligning with the sun and Mars this coming weekend, right? So people's chart will be affected. So then, of course, this guy, Douglas Miller, same thing, got hit by lightning. He got hit by lightning twice, and he left the visible that day. So all the alignments were there. And then, of course, we have our buddy Roy Sullivan, who got hit by lightning 7 times. And, of course, you see there's Ceres and there's Neptune, right? And even on the one of the, we found strike number 4. We found that data. And right on that day, you can see that Neptune, the moon, and Ceres were aligned on that day. And look at that in Scorpio. So Scorpio is very strong when it comes to sexuality, procreation, materialism, not doing the right things. So astrology is not woo-woo. And then we also went and talked about this girl here who fell from an airplane. Everybody else died. She was in her seat and she lived. While doing her chart and seeing everything there, it's an exact scene on the Egyptian walls with both Marys. You can see the 2 different crowns, right? This exact scene happened in the sky exactly when she fell. So everything is divine. Everything is absolutely divine. Again, is reincarnation and karma real? Well, you see what happened to people with the lightning, right? It's as real as the waves beautifully hitting the shores of a beach. Listen for a moment of the tranquility of the calm waters. Does waters hold memories of your past? You have to ask yourself that question. Do these waters hold the memories? Well, we do know the waters hold memories, right? You've all heard of Dr. Emoto. He takes water, says loving things to it, and it turns out crystal clear. That definition of crystal, because it's crystalline. It's got love. It's got the memory. When he talks beautiful to the water, it holds the memory. But when you talk non-loving thoughts to it, it will be muddy. And we're being induced by love. So everything wants to look like these. And how's that going to happen? We're going to feel it. We're going to feel things. That's where the etymology of the word virus comes from, the snake spitting its poison. You don't catch anything. Things want to leave you when you get induced by these alignments that are in the stars. That's why you want to know astrology. You don't have to learn it yourself. Find an astrologer. You got one right here. Astrology verses in the Bible. So let's just jump into the Bible for a couple of Astrologos light and love verses. We could do hours just on this topic, but look how beautiful these images AI made. Look at that, eh? So that's like a snowflake when you ask AI to make an image. It'll never be made the same again. So you are gods and goddesses. Book of John, chapter 10, verse 34. Is it not written in your law? I said you are gods. And in book of Psalms, chapter 82, 6, I said ye are gods. Because we are the manifestors. And what animates our experiences is the stars, is the luminaries, the fixed and the wandering stars. The wandering stars are planets, asteroids, whatever Babel words we want to give them, they're the wandering stars. So that's why you want to, the Bible is bar none, like we showed last week. We started showing you which temple is which section, which chapter in the Bible, because they took it off the Egyptian walls. So you are a field, an atom, and you are a being that is tethered to pure love. So this is not a metaphor. It's a metaphysical reality. You are the god, goddess of your world, and the images and actions you keep is your next life. The afterlife on the Egyptian walls isn't the afterlife, it's your next life after, back here on the wheel. So it's important that we do things, and all the beautiful things we want to do for people like we talked about today is really, really good for us to do. It paves our next life. If you want to get off the wheel and stay in the light, you got to be pure love. You have to be pure love. And the other one in the Bible is important because they tell you don't look to the stars, but it says right in the Bible to look to the stars. Chapter 47, verse 13 in the book of Isaiah, King James Bible, the most used Bible. All the counsel you've received has only worn you out. Let your astrologers come forward, those stargazers who make predictions month by month. Let them save you for what is coming upon you. In other words, they'll show you the magic that is in your chart. It's a vibration you've left behind. Whatever you're experiencing can only be because of you, nobody else. When you get this, you do the 5-step forgiveness process. You make loving images, it trumps it. Like somebody asked today, what happens to those vibrations that aren't beautiful? They get squashed by love. It's like noise-canceling headphones. They just go, they get squashed. That's the beautiful part. So the true meaning of the cross, and there is Leonardo da Vinci's telling you to look up your crystal ball of the stars is in the sky. He's pointing up. This is the painting Salvator Mundi. Salvator Mundi means savior of the world. Savior of your world is you. And their guide is the stars. The truth is always there, can never be concealed. It can never be unrevealed. The academics and the people doing astrology today tell you don't look to the stars. It's not good advice. Not judging, because a lot of the astrologers can still give you the right messages based on alignments with the planets among themselves, but not against the stars. Then you won't be able to do the medical astrology efficiently. And just briefly, all the Bible academics will tell you that Jesus died on the cross in 31 AD. So if you go to 31 AD, the sun always dies on the cross in the west, and this is the west. This is the harvest line. And you go to 31 AD, and you'll see, like I showed you before, there's both Marys. Okay, both Marys and the sun are sitting there on the harvest line of 0 degree Libra, where Spica is. Spica is right here at 0 degree Libra. Okay, Spica, right there. Move everything out of the way. Spica, right there on the 0 harvest line is when Jesus dies on the cross. Right, so it's a metaphor. It's spiritual metaphor for us. Pandemics are the astrological. Look at another beautiful images. So just give me an ancient guy looking for the answers in the stars, and this is what they gave. It's just so beautiful. So did you know the word pan in pandemic is another word for the all, source, God, love, whatever you want to call it, but it's love. So that's Eris. That's that phoenix rising. And this happens on the stations of the cross. So yes, they're predictable. I know I've showed this before, but for the people that were showing up to our event, they haven't seen this before. But 9 months before the pandemic, we predicted we're going through a Corona chakra cleanse. And they even created a video. Why do I keep saying this over and over again? Because people still say because of COVID. It's not because of COVID. Corona virus is what the code name for COVID is. Corona is your Corona chakra. And Eris is coming into your crown chakra from Pisces into Aries. And this is calling us home because we're being induced by love. So the real reason is your loving internal child is home. Your own love. You got to own that. If you want to make progress every day of your life, own that and know who you are because it's your world. So just briefly, like recap, Revelation 12:1 happened in the stars on April 15th, 2023. Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with sun, a new moon on her feet, and there it is there. So you can see that Eris, the sun, were there, moon at her feet. But then you can see that now Mary steps on the snake because this north node, this one here, heads this way, okay, and meets on November 27th exactly with Mary. And that's the next one. So this is a cycle. This Mary, sun, moon at her feet, every 558 years, same thing happens. And then she'll step on the snake months later, every 558 years. And in the Bible, you know, the phoenix is between 500 and 600 years. Well, it's 558 years to be exact. It's not a virus that's causing us all to become loving. It's not a virus that's making all this instant karma, because the people are going through more than just influenza influenced by the stars, giving you the snake spitting its poison, the cold and flu symptoms. Those are all influenza influenced by the stars. We've been over that. So again, on November 27th, 2023, I went to a beautiful friend's. He left the visible at St. Joseph's Church in River Canard. After the celebration, as the friends and family were exiting the church, I went up to visit Mary, as I could see that whomever built this church was enlightened, guided, or both. Can you see the image of Mary stepping on the snake? So at this beautiful church here in River Canard, St. Joseph's, you can see Mary is stepping on the snake, and there's the moon, there's the cobra, that's the image of the cobra. Then when the cobra bites you, you go into eclipse, the south, north node of the moon, they eclipse the sun and the moon. So this is Genesis 3:15, the temptation and fall of man. So it's fall of Babylon, fall of the ego, us being, our ego, our materialism being stepped on. So this whole experience is all up to you. Everybody who's watching this video, it's yours, it's your world, you're the chosen one. So verse 15, I will put enmities between the serpent and the woman, and thy seed and her seed. She shall crush thy serpent head, ego, and thou shalt lie in wait for her heel. So that's love crushing the ego, the fall of Babylon. So they're just telling you the astrological signs and implications that affect us. But it affects us based on our karmic waves. So this transition from Revelation 12:1 on April 15th, 2023 to Genesis 3:15, 2020, November 27th, 2023, these two cycles are what shift us from the age of Pisces into Aquarius. I could bore you with the details, but I could show you it. It's there. So for those who are interested in knowing how to do the astrology and see all these beautiful signs that line up with the pandemics, and you can go and do all the research going backwards and see all the different pandemics and see how they're all related to the stations of the cross. When Mother Mary meets with the sun, you need to use Sidereal Lahiri, which sets Spike at 0 degree Libra, which is written on the Egyptian walls on the Adendra zodiac. 12 equals zodiac, 12 equal houses, and house 1 is fixed at 0 degree Aries. You do that, and then you're golden. But astrology is not woo-woo. It's absolutely real. It's only woo-woo because they're not using it properly, and we are now. So it's a grand thing that we have this gift now. I thank you for your time. That's all we have for today.